Welcome to Studio. We have been working really hard on learning how to draw parts of the face in an effort to make eventually a self-portrait. So last week we focused on drawing the eyes and the nose and the mouth, and I hope that after watching those videos that you feel really good about your progress as a realistic face drawer. If you did not watch those videos or practice the tutorial along with me, I would like for you to go back, just stop this video now and go back and finish those videos because those are going to be really important before you go on to this next step here today. But if you did do those videos and you are ready to put all of those facial features together on one image, I'm going to show you how to space out all of the parts of the face correctly. So for today, on Monday, your goal for Studio is to draw out the shape of the face and to put all of the features in the right place, just like I'm going to show you in this video. For the rest of the week, for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, if you are at home and you are a virtual learner, your assignment for my class is to continue to go back to each part of that face that we did today and make it look like you. So go back and redraw your eyes to make them look like yours, and your nose and your mouth and your hair, and shade it all in and make your self-portrait as best as you can. Now, some of the common mistakes that people make when drawing faces is that they draw a perfect circle, kind of like Greg Heffley's lollipop head. And also a lot of times people will put the eyes near the top of the head up here and not leave room for a forehead or their hair. So we're going to work on correcting some of these common mistakes and learn how to draw the correct proportions or sizes of things on the face. So the first thing you're going to need to do is draw the head. Now, as I mentioned before, the head is not a perfect circle. It's actually more like an egg shape. So it's taller or wider towards the top and skinnier down where we have this jaw. Sometimes people will draw a big circle with a smaller circle underneath, like a two-part snowman, and then connect them to help them make this light bulb shape that is the shape of a human head. Now, obviously everyone's chin is shaped a little bit differently. Today I'm just going to draw a generic head and you can do the same. So at any time during this video, you can just pause and get caught up and then start again. So the human face is symmetrical, which means that what is on one side is also on the other. So it matches. If you were to fold the face in half, it would actually, the two sides would match. So we're going to draw a line right down the middle of the face, super lightly. And this is going to mark the center point of the face. We're also going to do the same thing going horizontally and drawing a line horizontally. Make sure that this is right in the middle of the face because this is where the ears and the eyes will go. A great way to measure is to use your pencil as a measuring tool to make sure that the two sides are equal in length. So I measured pinching my fingers here. So from the tip of the pencil to where I've pinched my fingers, that's half the bottom half. And then I can check to see if it's the same size. The same should be true on our sideways area. And it looks like maybe this side should be a little bit wider. So now we know that this is the center of our face and that this is the line where the eyes are going to be. This is going to feel really low if you're one of the many people who draw the eyes way too high. The next line that we're going to make is in between the eye line here and the bottom of the chin. So this is our eye line and this is our center line. So I'm going to call this the eye line. In between the eye line and the chin line, I'm going to create a line that is halfway in between. Looks like I need to go a little bit down. Let's see if that's halfway. That looks about right. So halfway in between these 2 points. And this is going to be the bottom of the ears. Here's the top of the ears at the eye line and the bottom of the ears here. It's also going to be where the bottom of the nose is. So I'm going to call this one the nose line. Next, we're going to mark where the mouth goes. The mouth is going to be somewhere in between our nose line and the bottom of the chin, but it won't be equally in between. The nose is actually, or the mouth is actually closer to the nose than it is the chin, but I'm going to go ahead and mark where I want the mouth to go. So this is my mouth line It's not exactly in between the nose and the chin. It's slightly above, so closer to the nose than the chin, but I've marked where my mouth goes. Now we get to start drawing the features of the face. I like to start with the eyes, and the eyes are going to be drawn right onto the eye line. You're going to want to draw all of your features really lightly and just do basic shapes at first. Once you have everything where it goes, you can erase all of these lines and draw in the specific eyes that you want to draw. Now I've sketched these in really lightly because I want to make sure they're the right size. So usually if I take the measurement of the eyes that I drew, so here's the measurement of the eye that I drew using my pencil, there should be about an eye length in between each eye and also an eye length from the corner of the eye to the edge of the face. And look, my measurement doesn't work, so I've drawn my eyes too big. I should be able to fit 5 eyes all the way, 5 links of eye all the way across my drawing. So one from the edge of the face to the corner of the eye should be equivalent to the length of the eye, which should be the same as the length in between both eyes, which is the same as this other eye, of course. And then we should be able to fit one more eye over there. So you should be able to fit 5 eyes or 5 eye lengths across your face. So another common mistake I just showed you is drawing the eyes a little bit too big. So I'm gonna try to make these a little bit smaller and see if I can fit 5 of them across my page. So there's 1 eye, 2 eyes, 3 eyes, 4 eyes, 5 eyes. So each eye is the same, and there's about an eye length in between the eyes, and there's about an eye length from the corner of each eye to the side of the face. Now we won't be able to draw in all of the details of the nose, but we can guess about where the nose is going to go. So if I draw a line straight down from the corner of the eye, I know that the edge of the nostril is slightly outside of that. So if I drew a line straight up, it would cut off just a little bit of the eye here. So just slightly outside of where the corner of the eye is where the edges of the nostrils are going to be. So I'm going to kind of make this little shape there to show me where my nose is going to be. It should be slightly wider than the width in between the eyes. So if I draw a line up here, it's going to cut off just a little bit of the corner of the eye on both sides. Some people's noses are wider than others, so this is not a perfect measurement. You'll have to look at the person that you're drawing, and if it's you, you'll look at you. Now the last feature that we're going to add here that we talked about in our tutorials is drawing the mouth. If you can imagine where the pupil of the eye is, the black part of the eye, if you draw a straight line down from the pupil of the eye, that's where the edges of the mouth usually are. So I'm going to do 2 little dots here to show me that that's where the edges of the mouth are. So when you go to draw your mouth, it's going to be somewhere in between those 2 dots. Okay. The next thing we're going to add are the ears. And while we didn't talk about how to draw the ears, we are going to talk about where to place them. So the top of the ears is usually near the line where the eye is, and they usually end somewhere near our nose line. Now some people's noses are longer and shorter than, or their ears are longer and shorter than others, but I'm going to do what's normal or just an average ear, kind of drawing it like that. We're also going to add our neckline, and the neck is usually lined up with the outer corner of each eye. So if I draw a line from the outer corner of that eye down, that's the left side of the neck, and I can do the same thing here to mark where the right side of the neck is. So that would be the size of the neck. Now you're probably thinking that this forehead looks huge, and it does. So we're going to add our hairline. And of course, our eyebrows are connected to our eyebrow. And so we're going to have half of this space up here is going to be our forehead, and the other half is going to be our hair. A lot of times when people are drawing, they add the hair on top of the head, but actually the hair is placed inside the head because it's growing on your head, of course. So I'm going to look at my eye line that I started with here and the top of my head, and I'm going to measure and find this middle line right in between where the eyes and the top of the head are. So I'm going to guess it's right about here. And then I'm going to use my pencil to measure to make sure that that really is the center. So these 2 halves should be the same, and they are. So your forehead is usually The average forehead is about half of the distance between the middle of the eye and the top of the head, and the amount of hair we see on most people is the same amount from the top of the head down. So this is going to be where the hairline begins, right here in the middle, and everyone's hairline has a different shape. I'm just gonna make this one curve down just gently like that, but everyone's hairline has a different shape. So I'm gonna pretend that this person has really short hair, or maybe their hair is pulled back in a ponytail, so we can make lots of hairlines to make their hair going back, and we're not seeing a whole lot of it. If you wanted to have hair down, you could draw the hair coming down. It's most important that you know that this is the hairline. So now we've drawn the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears, the neck, and the hairline, or the eye, or the forehead. So we spaced out all of these things correctly on the face. The next thing to do is to erase all these crazy robot lines that we don't need anymore. So hopefully you drew these really lightly and that they're easy to erase. All of the facial features that I drew on here are really basic and non-specific. It's like a fake person here. So if I were drawing myself, I would want to look in the mirror and really look at what do my eyes look like, and what do my lips look like, and what expression am I making on my face for my drawing. So now you're going to erase these lines and then go back to each one of these parts of the face and draw them as realistically as you can. For this week's assignment, I would like for you to draw your self-portrait again, like we did a few weeks ago, except this time I want you to draw thinking about those tutorials we already worked through last week. So good luck, and I can't wait to see the drawings that you made. When you're finished, upload them onto our self-portrait class gallery. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.